All right, guys, this is Crazy Kev here, and I'm here with Sandra Jerez. Sandra, how we doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today.
No worries at all. And Sandra, you just had a fight not too long ago. Talk us a little bit more about that matchup and how things have been going and what's maybe next for you in the future.
Yeah, so I had my first title fight, strawweight title fight for Fury, this past Friday against Alex Carlson. It was a great fight, went all 5 rounds. It was super close, 48-47 across the scoreboard for all three judges. It could have gone either way, but it was a great fight. Like, I honestly had a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, you definitely had a lot of fun. You definitely had a solid performance. And when it comes to training stuff, you mentioned you were getting back in the gym on Monday. Do you happen to have any plans on maybe when we can see you back in the octagon again?
Yeah, so I want to get back in there as soon as I can. I do have some health matters I have to take care of first. So, with that being said, there's going to be a little bit of downtime, but ideally, I'd like to be back in there September, October, no later than November. But I do want to get one more fight in before the end of the year at least.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's definitely some good news. And now, when it comes to fighting, I mean, obviously you were just in a tough fight. I mean, how long does it take you to kind of fully heal up and kind of get back to normal when it comes to after you're done your fight?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I got back to the gym on Monday, watched the film with my coach, worked on a couple things. Definitely still recovering, as you can probably see. I feel a little sore. It was a great fight. Like I said, went all 5 rounds. So tomorrow, Friday, that'll be 1 week. I'm just listening to my body, trying to get a lot of sleep, still eating pretty healthy to help recover. But I'm just drilling right now. Like I'm probably training for like 1 hour a day right now. Normally I do like three and a half. But I'm just kind of deloading and just staying moving because movement's good for the body. So
Yeah, movement is definitely good for the body. And now, when it comes to just you in general, I mean, you said you were watching some film in the fight. What are maybe some improvements you plan to make for your next fight coming up?
yeah, absolutely. I think I need to work on my chain wrestling. I need to focus on just some basic fundamentals of striking. I had a couple layoffs, and I believe that kind of put some rust underneath me. So just some fundamental things. But one thing I can say is that the dog in me definitely came out in that fight, and that's one thing that you can't work on. That's one thing that you can't fix is heart. So all these like minor adjustments, they will get fixed, and I'll be showing that on my next fight. So.
Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome. We're looking forward to that. And you mentioned you were going 5 rounds and stuff. I mean, how was that for your cardio and I guess for your experience as well too?
Cardio, I have great cardio. I obviously, you're fighting, you're going to go back to your corner, you're going to be out of breath a little bit. But my coaches were like, you recovered really fast in between those rounds. Um, Cardio felt great. I had a bunch of people like in my corner after each round, so it was kind of like chaotic. But once I got off that stool and I was back in my corner, like facing my opponent again, I felt fresh. I felt good. Experience wise, it was great. Getting all that footage and film and a bunch of feedback and a bunch of takeaways from 5 rounds. So there's a lot of growth to be made, but I'm excited to make those changes.
Yeah, absolutely. And more about you. I mean, what do you typically like to do outside the cage when you're not fighting?
I like to run. People are like, you like to run? I'm like, I like to run. There's just something about running that just clears my mind. I love watching fights. I love watching film. I like lifting weights. I'm a very active person, so I mean, honestly, there's nothing really that I like to do. I like movies, but I really like just like anything fighting, like film watching. Watching The Ultimate Fighter, training, running, biking. I'm pretty active, so it's pretty much all related to that.
Fair enough. No, you definitely seem pretty active. And you mentioned watching movies. What's maybe some of your favorite movies that you like to watch?
Oh, movies. Well, I'm really looking forward to Twisters. Twisters coming out on the 19th, about the
Okay.
tornadoes and stuff. Because I'm in Houston, so we've been having some crazy weather. So I'm looking forward to watching that. I just watched Inside Out 2, which is a really good movie. And then right now, me and my girlfriend are watching Your Honor on Netflix. It's a series. It's really good. So it's nice
Yeah.
to
No,
have some downtime and watch more TV, I guess.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That definitely sounds pretty sick. And when it comes to you mentioned watching film and like fighting and stuff. Who's maybe some of your favorite fighters that you like to watch?
Gaethje, Holloway, Namajunas. Um, let's see. I just got asked this question like yesterday by my girl too. I like Cyril Gahn a lot. I like his style. Just to name a few. Yeah.
That's pretty sick about Gun. I mean, you don't usually hear a lot of people saying him.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely an awesome choice. And when it comes to you, you mentioned like running and stuff. When you're running, what kind of music do you like to listen to when you're running?
Funny, I actually don't listen or watch really anything when I run. I
Wow.
kind of take that time to just stay off my phone. Sometimes, like if I'm really struggling, I'll put on like The Ultimate Fighter, like some old season of The Ultimate Fighter, and I'll watch that. But I don't ever listen to music when I run. So I just try to clear my mind. And if I'm running outside, then I want to be aware of my surroundings. So I definitely don't have like music on when I run.
Fair enough. No, that definitely makes sense. I know when I usually like to run, I usually like to listen to music, but that's definitely interesting. You like to do it without. But
Yeah.
when you mentioned you also are a personal trainer as well too, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's awesome. So how did you kind of get into that?
Yeah, so I went to college and I got my associate's degree and I didn't know what I was going to do with it. And at the time, I was really into like working out, lifting, just overall like fitness, basic stuff. And I was like, man, what better job to do than something I already love doing? And so back in 2017, I joined Lifetime Academy, which is, I don't know if you're familiar with Lifetime, the gym. They have like a university that you can join, and it's like a hands-on online course. And did that for about 10 months, and it was pretty intense, but a lot of good information. I got my CPT, CES, BES, and PES certifications through NASM, and now I'm doing it like 7 years later.
That's incredible. Well, definitely good for you. And when it comes to like training and stuff in the gym, I mean, who's maybe some of your best training partners that make you the best version of you?
Oh man, all the girls here. Mia Graw is probably one of my best training partners. We're very similar in size, so we get some pretty intense rounds in. Mia Graw, Madison Gwynn, she just fought on the same card. Alex Law, Rain Guerrero. There's a ton of girls. Amber from 10th Planet Austin. She's been coming through on the weekend. She's been a great help for my grappling. So shout out to all my girls.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like an awesome group of girls. And when it comes to training, I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite training memories that you might have?
Favorite training memories. Let's see. Well, when I won the 120 combat sports coverage title belt, this was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. That was pretty cool. My first belt. That was a big moment. And then right after that, that same weekend, I got my purple belt in jiu-jitsu, promoted by my coaches. Getting my black belt as a 12-year-old Sandy, that was pretty cool. That was like a big moment. I started doing Taekwondo when I was a little girl and got my first degree black belt, competed all over the nation. So that was like a pivotal moment in my young childhood.
That is so sick that you do Taekwondo as well too. I'm a Taekwondo instructor myself, and I've been training
Very
my whole
cool.
life. That's so cool. And
Yeah.
so you mentioned you got your black belt in Taekwondo. I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite kicks that you used to throw?
I was really good at like the butterfly kick. It's like kind of like a spinning
Yep.
roundhouse kick. Um, the crescent kick was like my thing because I have really long
Yes,
legs. So I would
awesome.
always like get people with. I don't throw that anymore,
Oh
but
no,
back when I was a little girl, that was like my go-to. And then my teeps, like my straight kicks, those are, again, I have really long legs, so like that's like my range.
that's so sick. My favorite kick is jump spinning crescent kicks. That's so awesome that you mentioned that. Shout
Nice.
out to that. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, I love it. So when you got your jiu-jitsu pro belt, how'd you kind of get promoted from your belt? What'd you have to do?
It's just accumulation of like how many hours you're putting on the mat. It's not so much like what you have to do; it's what you've done or what you've accomplished up to that point. So, like I mentioned, I beat a pretty game opponent, Mary Barron, for the combat sports coverage belt, and I was training. So it's just hours on the mat and like your consistency, your dedication. So that's what determines like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and rank you up.
That makes sense. Okay, so when you're training in like jiu-jitsu and stuff, what was maybe the hardest technique for you to kind of get down?
I would say like any leg entanglements, they're so complex, but if you think about it, like the legs, the knees, the ankles, they're kind of like the arm, the wrists, but it's different. So I would say like lower body entanglements, submissions, those are pretty complex.
Okay, fair enough. Now, when you're training and stuff in the gym, do you like to do a lot of like no gi? Do you do a mix of both? How's that kind of work?
Yeah, we're definitely more no-gi based here because this is like more of an MMA gym, but I do enjoy putting on the gi every now and then. I'm not like opposed to it. I've met people who are like gi or pro no-gi, but I enjoy doing both. It's very hot here in Texas, so in the summertime I don't really put it on that much because you're like baking in there. But in the winter, if you want to like get a good sweat, stay a little bit warmer, I like to put on that gi. But I enjoy doing
Okay.
both.
Fair enough. Okay, that definitely makes sense. And when it comes to your fight gear, like your fight shorts, your fight gloves, even your title, I mean, what do you typically do with all that different stuff that you have?
In terms of,
Like, what do you do? Like, do you have it in your room? Do you have it at the gym? What do you typically do to kind of display it, I guess?
yeah, so my dad, the first fight I had back in 2020, September of 2020, he actually has it like kind of framed up, my little fight gear. But everything else, like right now, I'm wearing some old fight shorts. I still wear them. They're good quality. The logo has kind of come off, but I mean, it's like Nike gear and stuff. So I keep wearing them.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty sick. And outside the cage, you mentioned you're pretty active and stuff.
Hi,
You
Stone.
mentioned
Sorry.
I watched your whole
take your
fight.
time.
Great, it was a good fight.
Appreciate you,
I
Stone.
really enjoyed seeing you out
Thank
there.
you. Hell yeah. I'll be back soon.
Yeah,
Be safe. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Definitely had a good fight. And
Thank
now when it comes to you, I saw like you had like people like Karan Reed and like Zachary Reese like following you and stuff on Instagram. Talk to us a little bit more how you kind of know those guys.
Yeah, I mean, those are my guys. I see them almost every day, every other day here at War. We like, spar, bleed, sweat together. So when you're in like an environment like that, it's hard not to get close to these people. So those are
Yeah,
my
no,
boys.
that's definitely awesome. So when it comes to
Yeah.
training, obviously you mentioned a bunch of people on the mats and stuff. Do you happen to like hang out with some of your training partners as well too outside of the gym?
Oh yeah, like Mia and Madison are like my best friends. So we're always together. We're having a little trip to Austin, I think next weekend, to go float the river with Amber and some other girls from the gym. So we hang out pretty regularly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm always with them.
Fair enough. Okay. So do you like to travel or anything like that as well too?
I love to travel.
Nice. What's maybe some of your favorite places you travel to?
Yes. My favorite place, my favorite vacation spot has been Kauai in Hawaii.
Okay.
It's amazing. We're actually, God willing, going back in November, hopefully. So I would say Hawaii is like my favorite spot. But I have an amazing family. My dad is so supportive. When we were younger, me and my sister, he would take us everywhere. He wanted to show us the world. We've been to Hawaii, Mexico, Canada, Puerto Rico, Italy, Venice. So we've been to a lot of places. So I definitely like traveling. Right now, I haven't been traveling as much because I'm so focused on like my fighting career. So, but definitely want to go back to Hawaii this year if possible. Unless I have a fight, then that's scratched.
Fair enough. Fair
Hawaii
enough.
can
That
wait.
definitely makes sense. Now, after your fights, what do you typically like to do when you're all done your fights?
Eat.
Eat.
Eat some good food. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a drinker, so I'm never really one to like go out and go get drinks, but I just enjoy like the because it's so much pressure leading up to a fight. You got this and that and this and that, and it's like an accumulation. You're just so like amped up, and then it's done, and you're like, I can breathe. So definitely after all that weight cutting, like it's so good to eat. Like I'm enjoying like every meal I'm having, drinking water, drinking sweet tea again, and just hanging out with my family because I feel like I'm so unavailable in camp because I'm so dedicated to my training. So it's nice just to kind of have some more time to unwind and not be like rushing to the next training session.
Okay. Okay. That definitely makes a lot of sense. I definitely feel you. And when it comes to eating, I mean, what's maybe some of your favorite meals that you like to have after a fight?
Mm, let's see. French fries. I love French fries. Chick-fil-A.
Oh, there you go.
I love like a really good like Vietnamese bowl, like a vermicelli bowl, sushi, anything. I'm not picky. I actually recently got into Indian food. I did not like Indian food for like my entire life, but then recently I got into it and it's actually really good.
What made you just randomly get back into that?
My girlfriend, she like cooked me like she's not Indian, she's Hispanic, but we started cooking like this butter chicken and tikka masala with some rice and naan bread, and I was like, whoa, so good. And it's healthy, it's like chicken
Yeah.
and stuff.
Okay. Okay. Now you mentioned like she made you some foods. Do you also cook as well too?
I do cook.
Nice. Who do you think's a
Yeah.
better cook, you or your girlfriend?
Oh man, you want to get me in trouble? My girlfriend. No,
Good
we
answer.
both cook really good. We're not like chefs or anything, but I enjoy cooking at the house, saving money.
There you go. No, you're definitely
Yeah,
saving money. I love it. Definitely some good
yeah.
stuff. And so you mentioned like traveling and stuff. I mean, what was maybe your favorite part about like traveling and just kind of going to different places?
Um, just experiencing like the world, like it's so easy to get caught up in your everyday life, and when you go to a different place, it just makes you appreciate like you know the earth that we live on. There's so many things to see and appreciate your life. There's so much more out there. I know it's very easy to get caught up in, the mundane and going to work, going to training, going home, same thing over and over. But it's like, there's so much more out there, if you're willing just to open your eyes and have a perspective and positive perspective on things. So I think that really, it just kind of resonates with me that, we live in such a big world. There's so much out there.
Yeah, yeah, there definitely is a lot out there. And when it comes to your goals in fighting, I mean, what's maybe some of your goals that you might have in MMA at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. My, I guess you could say short-term goal is definitely getting that Fury strawweight title. That will happen. That will happen for sure. That's my short-term goal. And then either getting into Invicta or the UFC, that'd be like long-term goals. So just staying healthy and staying active, keep the ball rolling.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to these goals, I mean, how long do you think it can maybe take you till we maybe see you in the Invicta or maybe even the UFC in the future?
That's a great question. I will be 28 on Monday, so I don't have any time to lose. So I hate to kind of put a timestamp on it because I feel like I want to just get on like a fast track, but I know there's a lot of work to be done. That's so hard to say. I mean, no more than 2 years max. Get back in there, get the belt, defend it, go pro, and just keep the ball rolling, man. Hopefully, anything can happen in this sport, and I know that. We can get the call up, something could happen, God forbid, injuries, whatever. But, as soon as I can, I'm just leaving everything in the good Lord's hands. And, wherever he decides to take me, I'm going with it. So.
That's awesome. That's definitely some good information there. And when it comes to like your birthday on Monday, do you got any cool plans for that?
No, not really. We're going to have family dinner this weekend. I work on Monday, so I'm going to train on Monday. Nothing much.
Yeah, same old day, I guess, right?
Yeah, same old day.
Fair enough, fair enough. And like I mentioned about me, I'm a Taekwondo instructor. I've been teaching for 6 years now. I've been training since I was 5 years old, so 19 years
Cool.
now. So I love martial arts and love what I do. And with all the different people I have at my gym, what advice do you give to them to keep on coming into the gym and to keep on getting better and better every day?
You're not going to see results immediately. Like, it's something you got to put like your heart and soul into if this is really what you want. I truly believe that martial arts gave me the confidence as a young girl, that I couldn't get from anything else. And it gave me like a safe haven because I was bullied when I was in middle school pretty bad. And martial arts was like my safe haven. It gave me confidence. It gave me like literally like a purpose in life. So I would just say like keep coming, keep being consistent. There's going to be good days, there's going to be bad days, but you're going to start to notice and you're going to start to feel your body like do things that you weren't expecting. Like with jiu-jitsu, like you finally pull off a move, you're like, oh my gosh, you just did that. Like those little moments are so rewarding. When you get down a kick or you break the board or you get your next belt, like those little milestones is what's going to keep you going. So just one step in front of the other.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a solid message. And you mentioned breaking boards. Do you have any like cool memories when it comes to like breaking boards, maybe even other things that you might have broken in Taekwondo or just in general?
Yeah, we did a bunch of that when I was younger. We started off with like the little plastic colored boards, and eventually you would graduate to the wood boards. And when you got your black belt, you had to break like 3 in a row or something like that. So I was so focused on that board, and I would, break it and move on to the next one. And so it was pretty cool, like to break something.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty sick. And with you having that Taekwondo background, how come you don't think like the sidekick is used too much in MMA?
Well, recently there was a strawweight fight in the UFC. I think it was Heine Dos Santos versus the Indian girl, the first
Yeah,
Indian UFC
Puja.
fighter. Well, Pooja, yeah. That sidekick, man, was beautiful. It
Yeah.
made it like inspired me. Like, man, I want to get back on like the bag, like the heavy bag, and just drill it because I used to have a good sidekick. I still do, but I need to sharpen it up. I don't know why it's not used more. I mean, if you set it up, especially if like a roundhouse, like into a side kick, like it's there for me. So I don't know why people don't use it more.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Like I said, Puja was definitely on the money with that sidekick. It was
Oh
so fun
God,
to
it was
watch.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah. I
great
loved watching
fight,
that.
close fight, but yeah, that sidekick was awesome.
100%. I definitely agree with
Yeah,
you. I'm glad you shouted her out. And
yeah.
when it comes to you, Sandra, it's definitely been awesome talking to you. What's maybe your final message out there for the fans watching this video?
Final message. Let's see. Expect to see me more, see me soon. I've had a couple layoffs, not by choice. I've had, some health things to take care of. But every time I've been out, I've been so anxious to get back in here. And I'm just so excited to be back. I had a great time in my title fight, although it was super close, didn't win it. You know, there's always next time, and, you know, just expect to see me more.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to your next fight, Sandra. Thank you so much for taking the time and coming on. It means a lot to me, and we're looking forward to what's next.
Thank you, Kevin. Great
No
talking to you.
problem. Yeah, stay in touch. Thank you so much for everything.
All righty. Have a good one. Thank you, sir.
You as well. You as well. Thank you.